I just woke up and a little better view than last night. This is what we're talking about. Day 2.
Today the plan is to start at Thame, walk up towards the first pass named Renjo, head down towards the city Gokyo, where the sub-peak Gokyo Ri is there, and then finish the day at Jragnag. All in all, it should be about 17 miles with close to 7,000 feet of gain.
Okay, I just left my gracious host in Thame. The entire stay, which was 2 meals, the room, Wi-Fi, charging, $26. And it is so nice to be able to see stuff around me. Unreal. Continuing on the theme of this trip, 7 deadly sin of today is wrath. The 7 heavenly virtue is patience. The mountains, I think, have the most to say, I think, about these 2 in particular, because they invoke both of them so strongly. You know, for example, I feel like it's very easy to get frustrated, get angry when something in the mountains does not go your way. Maybe, for example, you really wanted to do a peak and it just wasn't the right conditions. Thinking of an example is the Thame Traverse. On the end of that one, it was incredible, but I mean, end of that, I think Caleb and I were both just getting so frustrated, angry, wrathful, if that's a word, by the end, because of how crappy the exit was and just jumping over the trees and everything. It's very easy to just kind of start taking things personally and think, you know, why is the trail, why are the mountains doing this to me? What did I do to deserve this? And if you take that mindset, it kind of spirals a bit, and it can kind of get you into a place where you don't really appreciate where you are, what you're doing, and kind of can ruin your experience. But I also feel like the mountains also teach patience. If you can overcome your initial emotional, maybe wrath at the start, as the years have gone by for me, patience has been one of the best things that I've learned in general, because you can't change anything really about what's going on in the mountains. You just have to basically accept it, and being angry is not going to make it end sooner, so why be angry? I really like that quote. It talks about how you can only control how you feel about situations. You can't control the situation. Kind of a stoic philosophy, but I feel like it's really applicable in the mountains, because you really only control what you can do, what you feel. And I've had times where, you know, it's objectively like probably a not fun experience. I'm stuck in the bush, I'm cold, whatever. But if you just remember that you chose to be there and you're likely in a beautiful place and this is what you want to be doing, and really just knowing that the only way out is to be patient, I think that's honestly one of the best things that I've learned since I started doing these things. And I think it really adapts to other parts of life very easily. I think it makes you less quick to anger, it makes you more understanding, and I just think patience in general is something that we don't really have, or it's not we don't have, it's just a lot harder to get, because everything is so fast, everything is instant gratification. And in the mountains, it forces you to be, there's no instant gratification here. It's just long, hard, You have to endure pain sometimes, a lot of times, and it's really patience is the only thing that gets you through. So I think it's like almost like a lost art that I think you can regain by doing these sorts of things. There's nothing like listening to some country music at 13,500 feet in Nepal. Bet you that doesn't happen that often. So today I am gonna hit my first of the 3 passes. I don't even know the name of the pass, but gonna hit that. Then I'm gonna hit one of the little more famous side peaks of the 3 pass trek called Gokyo Ri. It's supposed to be a great view. I think you can see Everest from up there. The thing about this trek is that I think most people do it in about, I mean, reading online, it's like 16 days people do this trek, and I'm planning on doing it in 5 or 6 with additional peaks added on, which I can cut out if I need, but that's the plan. So it's ambitious, but I mean, so far I'm moving pretty good, I think. It's only 8:30. I've already put down 5 miles, so hopefully it keeps that way. Okay, this is the pass. I think it's Renjo La Pass. This one right here is Nengpa La, which is actually pretty famous.
On the morning of September 30th, 2006, a group of 75 Tibetan Buddhist refugees fleeing China made their way up Nongpa La Pass as part of their journey to join the Dalai Lama in India. The group was approaching the border when they were spotted by Chinese troops stationed there to monitor the border.
The Chinese forces just opened fired on them and I think killed a young girl, if I remember.
Along with wounding several members of the group, the gunfire also fatally struck a 17-year-old girl named Kelsong Namtso. The border guards rushed towards the group of refugees to detain them, and while 41 of them were able to successfully reach the border before the Chinese troops could reach them, the remaining members of the group were not as fortunate and were captured by the Chinese troops.
Nengpa La Pass is where that happened, over in kind of Tibet area, way down there. I mean, it's a long way, but just pretty crazy that I'm here in the area where that happened. Behind me up there, Renjo La Pass, first pass of the 3 pass trek. Just met a couple Aussies who I took a picture with because they said that they had never seen anybody else in shorts this whole time. This is only about 1,000 feet I think up, but it's gonna get me close to 17,000 feet, which, I mean, I still feel like I'm moving good. The country music is inspiring me. Listening to some Alan Jackson right now. Man, just has a way with words. I found a hack, speaking of patience, is to listen to EDM music. It really helps with that patience. Right now, Eric Prydz, baby. Just get you in the mood. Keep moving. Put your head down, lock in, and get to the freaking summit. Let's freaking go! Oh my God. You've been on my mind. Woo! I think that's Mount Everest right there. Oh my God. Almost at Gokyo, which I'm very much looking forward to take a little break, get some food. It's been a lot harder than yesterday. I mean, it makes sense. I've been high altitude the whole time. Pretty good progress, about 13-ish miles in. I was gonna do 22, but no, we'll just see. It's hard, man. Filming, trying to keep moving good, trying to keep hydrated, keep fueled. One last thing I want to say about wrath today. I think I know people, including myself, who have used anger or wrath as fuel, because frustration, hardship, and general discontent with maybe how your life is going is honestly a really good fuel, and it burns pretty bright and hot. And I've had many runs. I think of one in particular right after I got broken up with my long-term girlfriend a few years ago. I remember I just ran as hard as I could, and I felt great after that because I was too tired to probably address any of the emotional work that I needed to do after that situation. And I've done that ever since. I mean, I listen to emo music and rock music as a way to kind of channel some of that wrath that's always kind of bubbling down below, I think. But I think the thing that I've realized is that anytime that I try to use that wrath, that anger to fuel me in the mountains, or even honestly anything in general, it just like burns up like a star that goes supernova, and then all that's left is like a black hole in a way, if that metaphor makes sense, where it just kind of like, I like don't want to talk to people. I am like, yeah, I'm antisocial. I don't feel really any better other than like maybe a little bit of a cathartic experience, but it doesn't address any of the actual problems that were causing you to want to do that in the first place. So I can't say I'm never gonna do it again, because you know, it is fun to use that energy, and I think it's good to be able to harness it, kind of like Zuko in Avatar: Last Airbender, who would before he learned to use other forms of energy like love and compassion, he was only using hate, and he just could not accomplish his goals. He couldn't achieve what he wanted. There's like a learning journey that you go on. I think I've seen other people go on where they need to also, and I need to also, learn how to kind of channel that maybe frustration, wrath, anger into something that can be dissipated over a much longer time. And I think this is healthier, and it makes you feel way better in the long run, because you just can't use it that much. You have to keep it in reserves just in case you really got to dig down and dig deep. So I think that's all I want to say about wrath versus patience today. We'll check back in tomorrow for the third of the 7 virtue sins. Oyu. Should be, I think, the 8th tallest mountain in the world. I just sat down for a meal in Goku. I don't know what happened. I think it just hit me. Maybe altitude, the exposure to the sun maybe, but I was cooked. I was not feeling good. Trying to do Gokyo Ri, which is supposed to be a really nice view of Everest, but it's also just like a straight up 2,000 feet up. I just feel off. I don't really know how to describe it. So I'm gonna do this, and I've got another 2 miles to the next town. I'm calling it.
20 minutes later.
Yeah, I'm bailing on that. Getting pretty nauseous right now. It's almost like what happens to me when I'm 30 miles into 100K and the food is just stuck right there. Does not feel good. Just want to get to whatever the name of that town is, lay down, take some Tums and Pepto. Oh. Made it to Dongnak or something. I've been hiccuping for the last hour straight, and it's just like painful. Nope, there we go. Yeah, it just won't stop. All right, here we go. Heading in here. It's about 7:30 right now. I struggled through dinner. I only ate about half, maybe. Stomach's still just really bugging. I'm not sure quite what's up. I think I just need a rest, and hopefully it'll get better overnight. Here is my beautiful room. Very similar to the last one. I have a feeling it's gonna be a theme. Yeah, obviously I didn't get quite as far as I thought I was gonna go today, but gonna have to adjust the schedule a little bit, which is fine because I had a bunch of bonus peaks that I was looking at doing anyways, and if I cut them out, I think it's fine because there's really the meat of the 3-pass loop that I want to get, and then plus Mara Peak, I want to still be ready for that. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow ends a little bit better than it did today. Really looking forward to seeing how I feel tomorrow morning. All right, good night.